I'm a sandbox content creator. I definitely do understand, especially with everything that's going on, there really hasn't been too much. But as a Valve fan, I do want to talk about Deadlock. Now, understand you've probably already seen videos, and I do want to preference that. You probably have if you're watching this one, or you're probably interested. But I do want to talk about how this game may be initially received. And of course, with the information provided, let's see what we can actually mention about this. So first off, let's talk about what Deadlock even is. If you've been living under a rock, a new Valve game has been leaked by some alpha testers on 4chan showing screenshots, 4 of them to be exact, which some of you have probably already seen or which are now on screen. And this shows more of the new game, which is a 6v6 hero shooter / MOBA hybrid game. It's very much giving it's crazy, it's a mess, and a whole bunch. But I feel like this is going to be very interesting. And why would this be a big deal is because, for one, it's a completely new Valve IP. Now, obviously, from the screenshots, you can even tell right away, if you're a Valve fan, you can already take the comparisons of certain games that are already here, which is like the art style of Dota 2, the map style, which is pretty much kind of like Half-Life, Alex Half-Life inspired, and the gameplay as well with being Dota 2. Now, I do understand this is going to be initially when I feel it's going to be incredibly mixed. And why is it going to be incredibly mixed? I made a tweet saying, calling it now, Deadlock is going to be definitely mixed because it's not the game any Source or Valve fan was expecting, but may gain possible interest in folks who enjoy either Overwatch / MOBA hybrid games made by Valve. Now, I do want to preface at the same time, this is just my own wild theory. I'm not like some fortune teller or anything like that, especially me as a Valve fan and other Valve fans in the fan base we're starving for other things. And I do understand, especially other people are starving more for those things. But I am a fan who really does enjoy everything that Valve does. And I'm more interested to see what they're going to be doing with Deadlock. But the fact being that it is a new Valve game and it's a new IP is already going to start to turn people off, because when it comes to the years of neglect between the Team Fortress 2 community, which has been fiending for an update or something, and the Half-Life community, which has been expecting a sequel game, even the Left 4 Dead community, which I don't know what happened there in terms of Valve doing that with all these things. It seems like Valve is doing something completely new, and this may get a lot of mixed reviews. I feel it may change over time. Why? Well, because for one, it is a Valve game. After all, I understand some people are going to be like, well, this is not what I wanted, but they may be interested because, again, it's a Valve game. 2, it's something new and completely different. And as I mentioned in my tweet, I said this will gain possible interest in either people who enjoy Overwatch or mobile-styled hybrid games, which in terms of games like Smite or Predecessor or all these other games that are around, people will look at this game. They will be interested. And it is by Valve, which is known to make Dota 2, Counter-Strike, all these other IPs that we know and love. So for that crowd, they're definitely going to be looking at this game. Now, the issues that it may bring, obviously, is trying to stand against all the other games. Again, this is where the screenshots and kind of how everything is presented will make it possibly stand out. It's going to be hard for some folks to be able to look at that. There's already a game that exists for them. They're going to play it, and that's what's going to matter to them. With Valve, this might be something of interest. But these are some of the issues, is that essentially it's going to have to compete with the other games. And some people are already saying that, yes, this is something they would be interested from hopping over even Overwatch to go to this game. We'll see. Necessarily for me, I'm very much interested in the game because, again, it's a Valve game. As a Valve fan, I like that. But at the same time, it's going to be something where it's like we're going to have to see more over time with it. Now, this does bring me into my last point, which of course means that for one, this is issuing a new Valve era. What does that even mean? Well, pretty much even just having this game being leaked and shown for what it is, it's showing that Valve is wanting to go even more experimental. They've always been experimental about everything that they do, and they really want to push heavier into it, especially with this game. So that means that other IPs and whatnot are kind of like MIA, definitely missing in action, and there's really no saying about what's even going to happen with that stuff. We don't really know because Valve is kind of up there with Rockstar in terms of just not saying anything about whatever projects they're working on. Like, they literally have to be leaked to even confirm they're working on something. And most of the time, some of those projects don't even really come to light. So for the fact that this game, especially I think it was the Tyler McVicker video that I watched where he had mentioned the game has been in development since 2018 is a long time. And they've been fairly heavily developing this by the looks of it, if it's been that long, because otherwise it would have been canceled. We're getting this new Valve era, which is incredibly different. And I know it's going to be upsetting to a good chunk of people who are Valve fans or hardcore Valve fans that love those other IPs, which Valve now neglects. It's just the way that it is. And especially with Deadlock, this is a game that I wish I will be making future video, maybe another future video talking more about this game because it has definitely caught my interest and other things. But, you know, for right now, there's only so much that we can really talk about. Either way, for those that really enjoy this, if you do want me to talk about more games like this in a more chill, sort of relaxed way, talking about this sort of stuff, let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to know more about Face Punching Gary's game, which is called S&box, it is a new game as the Gary's mod spiritual successor. Feel free to check this video right here on screen. And thank you so much for watching.